Hey everyone, so today this tutorial is going to cover the pancake stretch. Now the reason I want to cover this one first is because it was probably the most difficult stretch for me to overcome, and I sort of like to think of this channel as training advice I would give to my younger self. The reason this one was so hard for me was because I couldn't even comfortably sit down in the straddle position, let alone get any leverage to get an effective stretch in at the hips. So what I'm going to cover this in two parts. The first part is going to be for beginners looking to get that initial range necessary to progress and to get started. And the second part is going to look at the 3 stretching methods that I cover in the video. So the first thing I want to talk about is how to actually start stretching a position if you have trouble even sitting down in a straddle. I believe there are 3 effective methods to stretching the pancake. Loaded stretching, ballistic stretching, and partner stretching. For beginners, I would hold off on any intense partner stretching when starting off. So the first way you can go about this is with loaded stretching. Raise your butt up by sitting on anything, a step stool, pillows, a box, etc., and perform pancake good mornings. This is a nice progressive way to build up mobility. As you get more mobile, you can lower the height of the implement you are sitting on. Eventually, you're going to get to the point where sitting on the ground becomes nice and snug. From there, you can continue with pancake good mornings. If this is really your first time, start off with lightweight, anywhere from 5 to 15 pounds, and try 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps of pancake good mornings. The second way to open up the pancake is with ballistic stretching. I personally prefer this method as this is the one I use to actually even get myself to the point where pancake good mornings were a possibility, but both work fine. What you're going to do is you're going to sit on the ground in a straddle and bring your legs as wide as possible. You will need some sort of solid object to hold onto, whether that's a squat rack, a piece of furniture, a pole, etc. The name of the game here is leverage. If you don't have anything solid to pull on, you won't be able to perform any effective ballistic stretching. When you do the actual stretching, do light pulses, but at the same time I want you to focus on tilting your hips forward in conjunction with each rep. Aim to arch your lower back. The next day with this one, I noticed an obvious increase in range, so I really like this beginner method a lot. Alright, so let's go back to loaded stretching. Loaded stretching is a great method to use because it's very programmable. You can easily vary the intensity and make it very progressive. Now I'm going to lay down a hard truth on you. If you are naturally a really tight dude, such as myself, stretching is going to be very painful for a long time. So you really need to bring the pain tolerance and you need to bring the macho attitude to it. With that said, now that you've gained some range, it's time to start upping the weight. The more weight you use, the deeper you will go and the more intense the exercise will be, meaning that it's going to be more painful. So that's why you need a really good pain tolerance. With that said, so now we're starting to look at rep schemes like 4 to 5 sets by 5 to 8 reps at 2 to 3 times a week. That's a good place to start. Generally, the heavier your weight, the less reps you'll do. So that's just something to keep in mind. And that is pancake good mornings for you. Now, with ballistic stretching, it's a little more convenient now because you don't need to hold on to something to get maximum leverage. However, we are still going to need to pack a little bit of weight on because the seated pancake doesn't allow you to get great leverage on its own. It's not very optimal for that. It's a different story for the head to toe stretch because you can easily get leverage. You can really grab onto it. Plus, gravity helps you out in that situation. Again, you're going to want to focus on the pelvic tilt, making sure you're getting the best stretch. A good cue for that is to try and arch your back when you're going in with each rep. Think about arching your back. In terms of reps, Emmett Lewis's general prescription of 3x72 is great. However, you can certainly do 3x100. If you really hate yourself, then you can go for 3x150, and that's actually what I used to do. As for frequency, I think that's something you need to experiment with and work out for yourself. It'll depend on how much you want to focus on this stretch and how it fits into your schedule. You can certainly try every day or 2 to 3 times a week. I just don't believe that there is one most effective frequency, if you understand what I'm saying. Lastly, partner stretching is good to incorporate once you start getting pretty deep in your pancake. As you start to get more flexible, you will definitely notice a change in your body. Static stretching will become less painful and sometimes even pleasurable. Partner stretching is a good bridge and it helps transition to that stage. There's not really much else to say about it except that it can be pretty intense, obviously, so please use caution when you do use a partner. So with that, I think I'm going to stop the video here. I definitely have a lot more to say about this topic, so if you found the video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and maybe even share it with someone who could use the advice. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them in the comments below. And of course, there is more where that came from, so please do not hesitate to subscribe. You'd make me really happy. I'll see you later.